Thank you very much. I want to say I'm joined here by members of the coalition that assembled months ago, Make the Road New York, Align, RWDSU, some amazing friends from the Teamsters and other labor union leaders, New York Communities for Change, and many others. State Senator Jessica Ramos is also going to be joining us in a few minutes. So let me just say this. We are proud that we fought for our values. Proud that we fought for our values. Our values in New York City are to defend working men and women, labor unions, the rights of men and women to organize, to fight for their jobs, men and women who want to work. And we're fighting for immigrants. Yes, Amazon works with ICE, proudly works with ICE to terrorize immigrants. And we decided that we wanted to stand and fight once again on behalf of the rights of immigrants in New York City and in this country. Because just because some people want to make more money, it's still important to fight for immigrants in this city and in this country. Just because some people own property and want to make more money, it's important to fight for men and women who want to organize and fight to form a union in this city and in this country. Right. Men and women. Amazon has a track record of oppressing workers, and they deserve to be represented by unions. Amazon is a bad employer. Let me say this. $3 billion plus in corporate welfare. $3 billion in corporate welfare. $3 billion in corporate welfare is something we fought for. Amazon chose to walk away. Amazon chose to walk away rather than fight for what it believed in, because what they believe in is fighting the rights of working people, the rights of men and women to organize. People in those centers, the distribution center workers, men and women making $18 an hour, $20 an hour. Amazon declared that they would fight their rights to organize, that they would crush their rights to organize and form a labor union. That was wrong. I'm proud that we fought for our values, New York values, the rights of immigrants, the rights of workers. That is what was important here. So I want to recognize Deborah Axe from Make the Road New York to say a few words.
Thank you, Jimmy. We are incredibly, we win! We win! We win! On behalf of the members of Make the Road New York, who live throughout Queens, all of New York City, Long Island, and Westchester, we are incredibly grateful to stand here with the most extraordinary allies and elected officials led here by Jimmy Van Bramer to say we are reclaiming our economy and our democracy. These are our neighborhoods, and we have stood against billionaires' attempts to extract our tax dollars and shove us out of our communities. And we are grateful to stand here today at the beginning, only the beginning, of our fight to stop the predatory practices of Amazon, killing off jobs, replacing them with terrible jobs, partnering with ICE, and spiking gentrification to push our communities out of our homes. We are thrilled today to be able to say that community pressure has stood up to the most powerful, wealthy man in the world, and this is an interim victory that we are proud to stand behind. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand it off to Maritza Silvaferro from Align.
Will never be defeated.
The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated.
The workers united.
Thank you, Deb. My name is Maritza Silva Farrell. I'm the executive director of Align. Align is an organization fighting for economic justice, fighting to ensure that our immigrant communities are represented in our neighborhoods. We're fighting to ensure that workers are protected. And that is what Amazon is not doing. Today, I received the best gift that anyone can receive in Valentine's Day. We actually heard from Amazon and learned about who they really are. The fact that they are stepping back, that is a testament. That is a testament about what kind of company this is. We are going to continue fighting this company. They are in our backyards. Let us not forget they have warehouses here in our city, and we know that they're treating their workers terribly there. When the unions came together and say, we want to make sure that our workers are protected, they did not respond for the needs. When our communities say we want to ensure that our communities aren't gentrified, they did not respond to the needs. They wanted to extract our economy. They wanted to destroy our communities. Let's make that clear. We're going to continue fighting, and we're going to continue in solidarity with communities across the country who are also suffering the bad, terrible practices of this company. Thank you very much. And let's celebrate this. It's a power to our communities.
I'm David Mertz from the Retail, Wholesale, and Department Store Union, RWDSU. Let's hear it for the union, folks. All right. Throughout this process, Amazon's behavior has been despicable. All New Yorkers were asking was for this company to respect our values, and they turned tail and said no. They couldn't even consider operating the way that would have made them welcome here in New York. And regular people, working people, members of the community spoke out. We stood up. We stood up to the wealthiest man in the world, one of the most powerful companies on the planet. And we said we will not accept their kind of behavior in New York City. New York City can and should expect more. We can and should do better than the kind of deal that Amazon was promising. This is a company with a horrible labor record across not just the United States, but the globe. Workers in Germany and England and Spain have gone on strike. Amazon refuses to deal with them, refuses to take their concerns into consideration. They don't want their workers to have rights. They don't want their workers to have a voice. And in New York City, that is unacceptable. Right.
Hi, my name is Zachary Lerner. I'm the Labor Organizing Director for New York Communities for Change. I just want to repeat once again, Amazon is the richest corporation in the world. Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world. There is no reason that we should have ever considered giving $3 billion to this corporation to come to New York City. This is a company that, whether you look at the exploitative practices that they use on their workers, when they testified back on December 12th in front of the City Council hearing, literally called it a modern-day plantation on Staten Island. This is what workers are seeing, and when you're looking at what this would have done to housing and displacing thousands of people across Astoria, across Long Island City, across Jackson Heights, and around the entire city, there's no way that this plan was going to be good for New Yorkers. And so we're here today to say that instead of talking about giving away subsidies to the richest man in the world, now is the time where we should talk about investing in our communities, investing in public housing, where you had Queensbridge houses where they didn't even have heat and hot water for many times during December and January. This is our time to actually stand up and talk about investing in our education, investing in universal rent control to actually protect people from being displaced. And this is our moment to stand up, and that we're going to continue fighting Amazon, not just around HQ2, but around all the rest of the stuff that they are doing, not just here in New York City, but also in Virginia, in Nashville, and around the globe. Thank you for your time.
So let me just say one more time, it is never bad to fight for working people and the rights of working people. It is never bad to fight for the rights of immigrants, including the undocumented. And as Mayor de Blasio, who I disagree with on many things, just said, New York is a tough town. It's a tough town, and Amazon chose to leave and not fight. That is on them. They failed here, the mayor and the governor. And I am about to introduce State Senator Jessica Ramos, who is an amazing progressive champion who's been joining us in this fight and in this coalition. Everyone, please welcome State Senator Jessica Ramos.
Hi, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. I know we're all very excited that the headquarters is no longer coming to Long Island City. And it's true, we should be very happy. It really speaks to the prowess of our community organizing and our sincere efforts to galvanize the grassroots. Ultimately, Queens is not for sale. And that is why, as the state senator from the neighboring district, in District 13, my focus and my efforts are now on the distribution center that's coming in my district, because we've already seen just how bad of an employer Amazon is in these distribution centers. There's already one in Staten Island where we've seen just how exploited those workers are. We know that we're in a crisis of underemployment. In my neighborhood, we've been talking about gang violence for the past few weeks, and a big reason for that is because our parents have to work so damn hard. 2, 3 jobs. This fight for me has always been about drawing our line in the sand and saying that we are only available for good jobs in New York.
That's right. That's right.
That we will do everything we can to flip the economy on its head and ensure that workers, that the grassroots, that everyday Queens residents are the ones who truly benefit from these deals that are done in the back room without us at the table. So this, to me, is the beginning of a very different way of addressing the economy and jobs that are coming to our districts. And I am very proud to fight alongside of you. Thank you so much for everything you've done. And I hope to see you in Woodside really soon. Thank you.
So I want to recognize Senator Ramos, obviously serves in the state Senate with Senator Michael Gianaris, who has also been a leader in this effort. Once again, before we take questions, let me just say, we fought for our values, the things that we believe in. And even when we were faced with the richest man in the world and the wealthiest corporation in the world, we did not buckle. We did not buckle. We held the line on what we believe to be right, which is that Jeff Bezos doesn't need over $3 billion, that ICE is something that should not be supported with public tax dollars, and that we believe wholeheartedly in the rights of men and women to organize. People working in distribution centers under horrible conditions, trying to make more than $18, $20 an hour, Amazon declaring they will crush their organizing efforts. That was never acceptable, and it will never be acceptable in this town. We fought for the things that we believe in. We fought for our New York values. Amazon values are not New York values. And they showed that this time. They showed that today, because rather than adopting our New York values, they took their marbles and they went somewhere else. That is on them. We fought really hard, and I'm proud to have fought with all of these people and Senator Gianaris to defend the things that we know we believe here in this city and in this country. So with that, we'll take questions from...
How do you feel about what the protesters are saying? There's a lot of people here are upset about what they say is the loss of jobs and how this is trending.
You know, look, I rarely agree with the mayor, but I agree with the mayor. It's a tough town. If you can't take a few people upset about something, you don't deserve to be in politics in New York City. People are free to share their thoughts. I would just say that if we're progressives, if we believe that as progressive Democrats, immigrants, all immigrants should be safe, then even if we stand to financially benefit from this deal, we should oppose it. That if we believe in the rights of working people to organize, even if you stand to financially benefit from the deal, you should oppose it. And that's what we did here. We fought for what we believe in. Amazon wouldn't change. They could have. They could have actually taken a different position here, but they didn't. They wouldn't. They refused. Their corporate culture is so decidedly anti-union that they would rather leave the greatest city in the world than simply remain neutral in the face of organizing efforts on the part of their workers. They could have decided to stay neutral. They could have done a labor peace agreement. They refused because they are so decidedly anti-union. That is not acceptable to me and shouldn't be acceptable to any of us.
Jimmy, could I just...
Yes, please.
And let me just add one thing. I think people should be angry. They've got a right to be angry. We're angry. We're angry at Amazon. They could have done this differently, and they chose not to. They flipped off the city of New York. That makes me angry. All we were asking was for them to try to be a responsible corporate citizen. That's it. And they told us to go to hell.
Yeah.